can't come to the phone. Well, I could come to the phone, but I choose not to. Just being honest here. Leave your name and number at the beep. I'm not going to call you back, but you at least feel like you did something. A useless gesture? Sort of like this podcast. This is Dave and Juan.
And three. Two. Try that again.
I can't
Three.
do it backwards. Two. I was going French. One.
Ta-da!
Let's see. We're back. Kind of miracle.
We are not 10 seconds into this thing. It's a good sign when you can't count down from three to begin a podcast. Let's see if we can get
Things
this part.
are looking up.
Hi, everybody. How you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Yes. A little extra applause today, please. We're doing this on a Saturday.
Saturday morning, which means LSU isn't losing yet.
But one of the problems you have is that you know how to do a few things,
right?
And that's the worst. That's possibly one of the worst traits you can have as an employee is the ability to cover for someone else,
right?
Because it becomes not something that's just nice to have. It becomes an expectation, or you've got two things going against you. You actually give a squat about getting something done right for a customer. So man, that's two knocks on you already. You can do some stuff and you actually care.
Right.
So,
that's the whole thing. Yeah. I sell, marketing graphics for a living. I'm a salesperson.
That's your job.
I also happen to know how to install things, basically hang things up. It's a little more complicated than that.
A little bit.
But we have a staff of installers at work, yet we're short on installers. So we've had a problem lately where you hire somebody and it's the no call, no show on their first day of work. They just don't show up.
Nice.
Don't call, there's a real great kind of people. But so yesterday, one of the installer who was supposed to do my project, which had to be done for this weekend, or has to be done, it's at a church, so it has to be done by tomorrow.
That's right.
Calls in sick. I was going to go help him yesterday. Well, he's sick. So that means, not only I'm not helping him, I'm doing it solo. And again,
that's your problem. That's your problem.
Right.
Because
you can't tell the customer it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, everybody else would have, but it's like, all right, I'm going to go do it. And then I roll back in about 6:30 last night, and there's the owner of the company still sitting there. So I just,
he just hung around to congratulate you. And
he was counting money or something.
He was just hanging around just to hand you a big old tip on your way back in. Here you go, Juan.
I just want to make sure, that he knows.
I got you.
I'm just getting back. So
that's right.
I said, hey, I'm done, but I'm really not done. And he says, it took longer than you thought, huh? And I said, well, I was by myself. And I said, I'm really too old to be climbing up and down a ladder all day. And he says, you're no older than me. I said, yeah, I am. And, we did the math and I'm a little bit older than him. But the point I wanted to make is, the age is irrelevant. Who's younger and who's older? I've been climbing up and down a ladder all day. You're sitting here counting your money. You're counting those millions you make and that I don't make. So
you climb a damn ladder, dude. It's your company.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna walk my non-millionaire self, in a slump because my back's killing me all the way home.
Well, again, those are two traits that you need to try to figure out a way to lose, man. The ability to do things and caring.
Right. I tell people all the time, and I may have said this before, when you get a new job and people say hit the ground running, I tell them, I said, hell no, don't hit the ground running. You want to walk when you get there, because
You
if you're
wanna-
if
right.
you're running at the beginning,
and not a race walk, not a fast walk.
no, you're just a slow gait.
Yes. You want them to be more impressed with how you've really come along.
Right. Hitting your stride in 6 months.
Be like me
back.
back
Only compared to the beginning.
That was
You-
me
you're
back at
running the
LumCon.
beginning.
Yeah, me back at LumCon. They gave me 3 years. I took 7 months, and then
Right.
what? And then what?
Then you're expected to continue to do the impossible.
Maybe not working for the state. They don't care. They just they don't. But I mean, on that. I guess I could tell this story because I think it's already happened. So again, it's the state of where we are today. So my younger son is working at a bank, and he's getting there now. It's kind of fun for me, kind of just getting stories and just reconnecting to what it's actually like in a branch.
It's like nostalgic for you.
Oh, well, yes and no, right? I mean, I get painful flashbacks of when I had to manage. I guess we had I had like 65, 70 branches. I forget how many it was back in the day. And it was nonstop headaches. But I think it was actually easier back then because there was a level of people actually wanting a job. There was, you know what I'm saying? It was easier to not necessarily find good people, but you could to weed them out, and you could you had to, right? I mean, that's just one of those. I don't know that I always used to say that about our business was I don't think we were any better at finding good people, but we were better at getting rid of the wrong fits. That's because too many companies do that. They bring in somebody and then they move heaven and earth to keep the wrong person in the wrong job.
Right.
And everybody's miserable, right? But
I hate you because you're terrible at your job.
And you hated the job.
Terrible at your job because you're terrible at it.
Yeah, and you're blaming me, right?
Yeah.
So he has this guy who's working with him, and he's brand new on the job, right? And this is one of his coworkers. Tells him, they get off of work, they knock off of work, and I guess these guys hang out and talk for a bit before they do anything. And this guy tells him, "Yeah, I'm taking another job. I'm going to work for another place, and there's a little bit more money, but no." So my son knew that, and then the guy said the date he was starting, like on the 11th of whatever month, and guy never told the manager that he was leaving. Just he accepted a job. He had a start date. Forget never giving a notice. Like leading up to a few days before he was starting his new job, he started calling in sick. So, and then my son knows all this, and he's like, and I'm like, no, bro, it's not you, man. You ain't nobody reports to you. It ain't your,
not your call.
It ain't your job to go say he ain't coming back, man. So this guy, he's on the schedule. Like my son's getting the schedule of who's supposed to be at the, at the branch. And he knows flat out that guy ain't coming. Right. So it's like great that, I know I'm going to be on the bind that day because and just never showed up. And like after the fact, I guess they ran him down and like, oh yeah, start another job. Again,
I just don't understand that.
Well, here's back in the day, you probably get sued for that now, but 100 years ago when I was actually running a branch and then later on doing other things, I promise you the first thing I'd have done was call the place that this guy went to work and basically thank them. I'd have said, I just want to let you know that I didn't realize I had such a couillon shoe. I might have, I'm not sure if that's exactly how I would have said it, working for us. And I just want to thank you for taking that high character individual away. And I wish you luck.
Yeah. Here's a tip. If he's, down the road, if he misses a couple of days unexplained, he's probably got another job.
There is nothing about New Orleans today that is as good and definitely not better than it was 3 years ago, even 5. Or forget that. It was a way better chance. It's it is it really it's and it, you don't want to sound like you're not even dogging on it. It's just like, are you kidding me? Like I must have used the word sketch 100 times. It'd be like, man, it's sketchy out here. It's like, don't come out Canal Street. When did that? It was always, it was always these days. I mean, I'm out there saying, you don't want to go outside by yourself. It's like, but I'm never really by myself. I had a Glock, but
No, but we had Joey and I
I'm
used to,
kidding.
no, I don't think you're kidding. We years ago used to go all the time when I had Saints season tickets, and we'd hang out in the quarter on
Yes.
Bourbon Street after. To the point we were comfortable to the point that on a Saturday afternoon, I had a meeting that was going to last about an hour and a half, and Joey came because said we go hang out after. So she couldn't come to the meeting with me, so I dropped her off in the quarter at this club we used to hang out at, just like an open air outside patio bar with live music and stuff, by herself for an hour and a half. It's I wouldn't drive with her sitting fully upright in the quarter right now.
It's man, I feel you. And here's the thing I came away with, and this is not, again, it's not, I'm not even trying to be, and people that, like I said, they still got people that want to defend it and say, oh, look, here's what I came away with. I came away with whoever, and I'm saying you can say who it is, if it's an individual, if it's a team of people, whatever's going on. Whoever's in charge of running New Orleans right now obviously can't stand New Orleans. Right? It's like if I gave you a company to run and you're like, man, I hate this place. I got it. And you would just like do things to run that company into the ground. That I went for, like I said, just, and here's the crazy thing. So, and again, I was there for it was a conference, and they tend to have these things in pretty nice places. So I'm at the Ritz-Carlton. Okay. Ritz-Carlton. I've been there several times in the past. Right. Place was a ghost town. I mean, a ghost town, like the lobby of the Ritz-Carlton, Ritz-Carlton bar. There's a library area. I kind of joked before, but I was down there watching a football game one time, and Cuba Gooding Jr. was right. Dude, I was there 2 nights. Both nights I ended up in the library, just kind of hanging out, waiting for people alone. The Ritz-Carlton bar, at the busiest, might have had 10 people in it 2 nights in a row. We walk outside to grab dinner one night. The first place right outside, it's a place called Danny's, I guess. That's where Bobby, again, everything ties back. We talked about Bobby. Okay, closed for the night. Across the street, whatever restaurant was, closed for the night. Went down the Palace Cafe on Canal, closed for the night.
Wow.
Dude, and I don't think closed for good, but like part of that's no help.
No workers.
Part of it, no workers, no crowd.
No desirable employees. I mean, no desirable customers.
not many, man. On the, what day was it? On the Wednesday. So I spoke in the morning, and I was supposed to do work in the afternoon, but I was distracted, couldn't do anything. I'm like, I hadn't been here for a long time. Slap on some shorts, right? I had to go buy a hat. I didn't bring any hats. I went bought myself a cap, threw on a t-shirt, some shorts, put my buddy in my pocket, just in case. Never alone. Having Charles Bronson flashbacks. That's a reference anybody under like 40 will not get. And I said, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to go, around the place and down to the French Market and beyond. I mean, I walk.
Yeah, that's a good walk.
I went a long way. Right. This is the middle of the day. This is 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. I still didn't feel safe in certain, like, people sleep in various places. That's the other thing too. It's like, at what point, and I guess this is like every major American city, I think, is having this issue. It's just, I'm used to it. And I'm not used to seeing some of this in New Orleans. In some of the more common areas, it's just like it's a commune. It's like,
oh yeah, we've got tents along Airline Highway in Baton Rouge.
I don't think I actually saw tents in Jackson Square. It might have been some, but just bizarro. And here's the one thing I didn't see the entire walk. A cop. Dude, that's what I kept thinking. It's like, the only time I ever heard or saw a cop was when you hear sirens, and they're probably killing 12 people, like hitting them on the way to wherever they're going.
Yeah,
right?
They're responding to the chaos, not preventing it.
Man,
not enough of them.
Yeah. So, so I get that off my chest. I just was annoyed. I was just like, man, really, guys? Because at this point, it's not. Everybody wants to blame, COVID. Nah, this ain't COVID, bro. This is you got a different virus going on in New Orleans right now, and like I said, I love the place. I'm glad I brought my kid. I'm glad we used to do the same thing, right? A weekend every year, and my kids loved it. I'm glad we brought the kids there, and pictures and stuff you can remember. Okay, this is how cool New Orleans used to be.
Right. It's hard to think that New Orleans, as you said, any major city has problems. It's always had problems, but the difference is the culture and the vibe used to outweigh the problems. Now it's not even,
no, and you
too
got
many problems to get to the culture.
You got people there with obvious, that was my thing. It's like a lot of people with ill intent walking around, and it's like, and even you tell, I saw a couple of deals go down.
Yeah.
I mean, broad daylight. I mean, they're exchanging.
Yeah, not even looking around. Seeing.
No. There are some parts of New Orleans, and I probably going back. I guess I was first visiting New Orleans, I don't know, 35, 40 years ago, right? They got some parts of New Orleans, especially down near Bourbon, some corners smell the same 35 years later. I say they need to hire scientists to study. How do you maintain the same odor for 35 years?
I think they've got to have some type of absorbency within the facility or within the structure near there.
Is the concrete soaking this up?
Right. It soaks some things in and filters some things out.
That and the streets and the sidewalks are horrific. I mean, and there's apparently doing a bunch of work, but one guy told me they've been
doing a bunch of work for a long time.
One guy told me that, well, our buddy Peter, right outside of his place, it's torn up, like the streets basically closed. He said it's been a year. They ripped up that sidewalk and stuff, and it's like, all right, but they forgot. Somebody lost the post-it note. Let's go back and fix. So anyway, I get there. And I get set up a reception first night. It's fun, catch up with some friends. And I took a picture, me and actually the guy that recruited me and the guy that first trained me when I got into banking. And so put it up there. And the next thing you know, I'm doing something and I check later on. And it was our buddy Peter. I'd seen Peter in, 30 years longer. Hey, I'm going to be at the state. What's that thing called?
He works at the Famous Door.
Famous Door for like 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years. He said, I'm going to be here all night. And I'm like, and I in the old days, I would never do it. I was like, I ain't going down Bourbon Street by myself to, please. And I'm like, but you know what? One of us may be dead in a week. Who knows? Let's
later tonight.
Hey, exactly. Let me raise the chances of that. So get on down there, and it's funny. So I walk in, I find the place, right? And I walk in, and it might have been one or two people in it at the time. The band hadn't started or anything, and so it's just an empty Bourbon Street bar. And I walk in there, and I don't know. I'm sure sometime in my life I'd been in that place, but I don't remember. And I walk in, I'm looking around. Where would he be? Where would he be? And I just hear over the loudspeaker, Dave Martin.
He's in the DJ booth.
I know. He's up in a corner, little bitty pit in the corner. It's just so funny, man. Just like with Dave Martin. I said, I'll be dang. Yeah. So I hung out, man. We hung out. I bet you I was there about an hour, man. Just
that time we went, he was DJing, and so he put on a song and he'd come out the DJ booth, shoot the bull.
That's
and
the same
thing.
And we were joking about that when I used to do some of that back in the day, and the songs he was throwing on, because early on he was throwing back. It's again, he's our age. It's that circa playing music that everybody knows it, but it ain't what the youngins are listening to anymore. Mm-hmm. He threw on Rush one time, and it was funny. There were 2 or 3 people, and they think, yeah. He said, "Yeah, you can't go wrong with Rush, or darn it, Freebird, Leonard Skinner,
Leonard Skinner,
or Give Me 3 Steps, yeah." And I so some things have never changed. Back when I was at the greenhouse 1,000 years ago, yeah, man, none of this music is working. Put on Leonard Skinner. Everybody loses their mind. Hey, you go.
Peter there's central ownership for multiple of those bars. So he's been at a few of them. And years ago, I forgot the name of the place that he was working, but he was with, I used to call the mic guy. There was no live music, but he's the guy on the stage that's, harking the drink specials and stuff. And he'd do contests. And Joey thought it was like the coolest thing in the world that he, would call out my name. On the microphone. Yeah, it's like I was special.
You were special, dude.
And I said, man, your standards are real low.
Well, we had some funny things. I was kidding with that. So he said he'd been there around, I guess, I thought it was in that bar, but that one a long time. Maybe
he's been at that one a long
20 years. 20 years. And my first response was, dang, 20 years. And then like a second later, like, dang. 20 years. What? Well, and we started, and I told him, I said, dude, you need a podcast. And he's like, well, I said, no, you need a podcast. I mean, I'm gonna help you come up with a name for it because it's just got to be. I mean, maybe the name of the podcast is 20 Years on Bourbon Street. Right? I mean, whatever. Because trust me.
Yeah, imagine the stories he could tell.
Oh, I started. And look, again, what I need to do. I said, dude, we need to get you. We have to carve you in a way because the way we do this, it'd be very difficult to line something up. It's not like everybody thinks this thing, it airs on Mondays. It ain't recorded on Mondays. We got to do it whenever we do it. But I told him, I said, I got to pull you in stories. So I was asking him, you get famous people walk in here. He goes, oh God, they do a ton because one, it's on a corner, it's in Bourbon, and they got a live band going.
And it's the famous door.
Yeah, and all these actors and stuff think they're musicians. They're all wannabes, whatever. He had some funny stuff. He broke a mic over Nicolas Cage's bodyguard.
Oh wow!
I think like he was Nicolas Cage is on stage doing whatever. I'm saying pretending he's doing something, and I guess Peter walks up there because he had to go up to
do the mic guy.
He's the mic guy, and apparently the bodyguard put his hands on him or something. Like the bodyguard wasn't going to let him get up there. Peter may or may not been drunk out of his mind. I don't know. He doesn't. I think he's drunk. I'm going to give him I think he said yay after a while. That's a hard thing to do, man. It's hard to work in a bar 20 years and
party for 20 years.
Yes. So I don't think he does. But so he broke a mic on the guy's head. I said, well, that make a good story. The other one some was New Year's Eve. He said they had to put a $5 cover just to keep, because the crowds are too big, right? Now, not this last New Year's, but like years ago. So they put a $5 cover just to just to keep people.
Well, you got people coming in to go to the bathroom.
Do whatever. Street, so he says, so John Stamos, right?
Blackie Parish.
Tries to come through.
Uncle Jessie.
And they said, like, it's $5. And he says, do you know who I am? You want to pull that crap? And whoever was saying, yeah, you're somebody without $5 on you again. So he goes to another door. He goes to another, after he's gonna come to
the lesser of the famous doors.
Right. He goes to another, and the same thing is saying it's $5 cover. I don't care who you are. And apparently he was there with his wife, or not the one that you would know, like Rebecca Romaine, like the model. Romaine, yeah. Apparently this was after, it's like the next wife. So they have to pay. I don't think he had money on him. I think she had to pay. And then he's in there not long later, and he's saying he wants to get up on stage and play drums for Kokomo. And gosh, Peter's like, what makes you think anybody wants to hear Kokomo?
Yeah, right. It's like the worst song in the world.
Right. Yeah. What are you living? It is the worst song in the world. Thank you. You play. So, in the history of the Beach Boys, the absolute worst thing they ever did was the thing that you got to play drums on. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, you've had a decent career. What I wouldn't necessarily call that one out.
I know. So what do you want? You want people to say, "Oh, I saw John Stamos play Kokomo." Yeah. But there you go. So it was a funny story from him, but I didn't I would kind of hope he'd be more chill than that. I've seen him in recent years, and do you know who I am? Yeah.
I think Pink got on stage there, or somebody not, just pre-COVID. They've had that fairly recently, or fairly regularly, where famous people will jump up with the house band.
I would see that. Why not? Yeah,
Kokomo.
Yeah. If only Stamos was there to play drums. Kokomo. Oh, by the way, I was correct. I sent you the picture of I stayed
the toilet paper.
Very one-ply toilet paper at the Ritz, man. Now they got 2 rolls of it out there. So you could two-ply it yourself, I guess, if you wanted to. It's part of 2-ply that you could,
you could double up.
Some assembly required to here's a ply, here's a ply. Technically, it's 2-ply. It's on 2 different rows. No, but there you go, man. My theory. We my second night there, last night I was going to be in New Orleans, so I caught up with my friend Doug. Talking about Doug. Doug still owes me a weenie spaghetti. He hasn't been to Houston yet, but he still owes me the weenie spaghetti. So comes over. We just kind of catching up at the again Ritz-Carlton patio, empty. It's just it's bizarre world, man. It's like somebody dropped a neutron bomb, and
this is now Thursday night.
This is Wednesday night.
Okay.
But this is New Orleans, man.
Right.
Some of these places in the old, it was busy every night, right?
Right. So, a city that thrives on tourism at a hotel, that's a pretty Yeah.
In the middle of the week, 3, and I know there were way more than 3 restaurants that were closed for dinner that night. But he says there's this place, a chart room, some bar, hole in the wall bar that I guess he likes, he frequents, whatever. And yeah, it's a little nothing. It's a hole in the wall, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh. So I'm sitting in the Ritz-Carlton, I'm like, do I really want to go at 10:30 at night? Again, I've already established that it's not the place to walk around, but whatever. I just figure Doug, like I said, Doug's a friend. I figure, well, if stuff gets real, I think I can outrun him. So, if I just throw Doug,
you got to live life on the edge.
Yeah, I'll just throw Doug to him. Like that old line about,
I don't have to run out. I don't have to outrun everybody.
I got outrun you. That's right. So we end up, and of course, typical. And he's a guy I told the story about a while back in the day that. I wanted to go out in Baton Rouge, and before it was over, it's like, oh no, we're moving. I'm helping him move. He apparently still has that in him because, it's like about a block and a half from here, 2 blocks maybe. Dude, it must have been 4 or 5 blocks. I mean, it was like, okay, whatever. So we get to this place, and it's a hole in the wall. But I like those kind of places, right? Little, and they're filming a movie on the street, on Chartres Street, I guess, Chartres.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see in the distance they're all set up and it wasn't that many people in this little hole in the wall. So we go in and grab a couple beers, and you just set up chairs outside. It's got doors that open up, and we're on the sidewalk basically. It's locked up. I'm just see what's going on. The trucks come by, they wet the street, I guess, for filming. They make
you
ever notice that? Yeah. You ever notice that, folks? Whenever you're watching any movie, the streets are always wet.
Always wet. It does a nice glow effect with the lighting.
That's right. So, and there's a crew, and the same thing about, you've been around movie filming stuff. They're just people standing around doing nothing, man. I mean, the most bored people in the world are the people that are just sitting around waiting to do. So there's this guy here trying to keep things clear. And I'm sitting, I got a beer. I'm sitting basically on the street, young guy. So what y'all filming, man? It's True Lies 2. Okay. And it's a true lie because it was weird because on our honeymoon, all those many years ago, my wife and I were in Key West when they were filming True Lies. So I'm like, it's kind of funny. Who's in it? Arnold? No, none of them. It's nobody's in it. He starts telling me he was in it. Here's what's bad. He's having to pull his camera out to show me the stars of True Lies 2, whatever it's called. I'm like, I don't know any of these people, but rock and roll. So the funniest thing is, they're all coming. Yeah. So the street's supposed to be Paris. So they got the street. They even changed some of the signs on the wall. I could see they put a new canopy out with stripes. It's Paris. So I apparently, and they're about a half block away. I guess the scene they were filming had gunfire. So you just hear cha 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 cha, right? And some smoke. Okay. And man, I'm sitting next to Doug. I look at each other like, I guess they're doing. I'm not making this up, and I'm not gonna do the accents or because I don't want to offend you, but just this young woman. She was younger than me. She wasn't young, but she was younger than me. Walks by. Was that supposed to be gunfire? They think that's gunfire. I grew up in the project. I can tell you what gunfire sounds like. And this other guy walks up to her. Really? Is that what they? And they were laughing. They were saying, "Man, these people don't know anything about gunfire." And I'm just laughing my butt off, saying they ought to hire you guys for like.
That's right. You could be the effects people.
Third guy walks up. This guy is off duty. He was a waiter at Irene's down the street. He's laughing. He goes, "Is that supposed to be a gun?" And I'm just thinking, this was so funny.
That's why nobody in New Orleans reacted in fear.
Nobody. I kind of jumped a little bit, but then that's when I thought, I think they're gonna fix that in post production.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna put some actual gun, but man, that was funny. They were just like, that ain't no gunfire.
Hang on for 20 minutes, you'll hear some gunfire.
I just say, hang on, it's still early. Well, not really, not these days, but yeah. So I don't want to see True Lies 2, but if I can ever find it where it's free, I want to forward to that scene and say, oh yeah, I saw that fake gun stuff going off. And we threw a lot of Alec Baldwin jokes out too. That was somebody. It wasn't that many people in the bar. And one of them said, Alec Baldwin's in town. Yeah. Then I actually spent a night in Thibodeau. It was It was a South Louisiana tour, bro. Only big mistake I made was on when I got there on Thursday, and we're going to go to lunch. I was going to bring my mom and one of my sisters to lunch, and the place down in downtown it was Freeman's, I guess.
Freeman's, yeah, that's Francis's place. Yeah, who's still on the horse.
Yeah, I remember. Closed. It was closed for lunch. Apparently, they're not open. No.
There's a lot of places in Thibodeau that are closed still, or at least during the week for sure.
So here's the problem. So like, oh, okay. Well, I'm glad we checked. Glad I called and checked. But I'm like, where can we go? You know,
Cane's is open.
Well, but look. So my mom and he said, well, we don't really want to go anywhere, and that's fine. We'll just pick up stuff. All right. They always the go to. In fact, it's like Pavlov's dogs. Every time we go down, this is what I look at some Popeyes. Let's get Popeyes. I'm gonna get Popeyes. All right, dude. Thibodeau on a Thursday at I don't know 11:30, 11:45. Try to go get you some Popeyes chicken.
Line, I don't, man.
Ooh.
I think it's a combination of the efficiency and the popularity because they're always.
So I went to the one across from the hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
You almost couldn't get off the road because the cars are just wrapped around.
Right. Their drive-through is not efficient. There's no good way to get in the drive-through. Every one of them, because they're the one here on the main road wraps into the
I'm thinking
5-lane boulevard.
So I'm thinking, all right, I already said I don't want to be that guy. So I told him I was gonna get Popeyes, and where we had to go wasn't for. I had a little bit of time, so I'm gonna park. I can't tell the last time I stepped into a Popeyes. Park. I walk in there. Don't get me wrong, it's nice. It's a nice whatever. And I walk in. I'm like, there's like maybe 7 or 8 people in here. Most of them had already ordered. It looked like kind of standing there. I'm like, all right, got in, waited. Dude, I guess it was 25 minutes, 25, 30 minutes. I was standing there waiting for, which doesn't sound like a ton when you say it, but when you're standing,
it's fast food.
When you're standing,
yeah,
and it was warm in there, right? And when you're standing and you're basically in the kitchen, they're small, right? You can see what they're doing. 25 minutes standing in. I made a lot of friends. I talked to a lot of people, man. Because I met a ton of people just like walk in saying, "Are you in line?" No, I'm just trying to stay out of the way.
Yeah,
I mean,
who are equally frustrated with the process,
moving around, and first world problems. I'm just laughing, and I see people come and go because I ordered like a 16-piece. I want a 16-piece regular, whatever. And there's another guy when I came in, he had a nickel shirt on, so I can remember. So I walk in, he'd already ordered. And that guy's still here. I'm like, oh dang. So after like 20 minutes in, I walk over to him. I said, bro, please tell me you ordered like a ton of stuff. Tell me that there's some kind of special. He said, I just ordered a 16-piece. I'm like, oh, dang. That means
they got to have at least 32 pieces before you get yours.
So he says, I think they're waiting on wings. All right. Really? Okay. Because I guess he had. So I'm looking, I'm watching.
And the chicken?
Well, I guess, everybody wants anyway. So they finally get enough wings for this guy. They get him settled. He goes. So I'm thinking, I got to be in, man. I do. I've seen people come and go. I'm still here. And I see the young lady. And to their credit, shout out to the Thibodeau. They're working, man. Like I said, it'd be more frustrating if you just saw people like
standing around doing nothing.
That's not the case. I mean, they're busting their tail. I can watch, but it's fried chicken. You got to fry that stuff. And it's not like a burger, right? It takes a little bit of time, especially when you get overwhelmed. So
can't put it back in the grease to heat it after it's already done.
No. So I see she gets the box out, and it's a curse I have, man. I'm like a project. I'm watching stuff all the time. Like, man, you could do that better. You could do better. So I see she starts putting chicken, and it looks like a 16-piece box. And she puts a few in there. I'm like, oh man, I'm feeling good. That's all she got some sides. I'm like, oh, that's mine. I'm almost 25 minutes in now. All right. And then she puts the box to the side. Dang, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I look up there and there are no wings. There are no wings available right there. That was still, and I said, ma'am. She said, yeah. She looked at me. I said, are you waiting on wings? To whatever. She was, yes, sir. I'm like, I don't care.
A couple legs in there.
Listen, I don't care what you put in there. Literally, give me 16 pieces of anything. She goes, you mind if I just give you chicken breast? Mine,
meteor piece.
that's an upcharge. What?
Yeah.
So my had to get another like might have had another box. Oh yeah, so like of a 16 piece thing I got, I think I like 10 breasts, and I'm like,
See,
man,
there you go. You
this
came
is
out good.
I know, man. Only that's such a Bayou mentality. Like, man, that was worth the wait.
Right.
That was
Yeah, it's logic. It's I was telling you earlier, I have a guy I work with who is total Cajun. He's he's a dirt Cajun from the Acadiana area. Yeah,
a
last
dirt
name
cage.
Dirt Cajun.
Dirt cage. I wasn't
I had
familiar
never
with
heard that
phrase.
before either until I had a friend from the that area, and she said that they call people either dirt Cajuns or water Cajuns, and our Cajuns are water Cajuns and they're dirt Cajuns.
Okay, are you sure that's not a curse? That's like when somebody says, "Man, you offended if somebody says coon-ass?" It depends on who says it and how they say it.
Yeah,
right.
So.
Right. So I don't know if I'm gonna call anybody a dirt Cajun unless I know, like, hey, look, am I offending you?
Well, I don't know. I'm a Cajun who grew up on the dirt along the water. So
you got it covered. You're a mud Cajun is what you are.
But yesterday at work, this guy's eating. Yeah, had a couple links of Boudin. And like 7:45 in the morning, and that was his breakfast. And I commented on it, and he said, I'm trying to eat healthy, but a smoothie is like $9, and this is like $7. And so, from an economic standpoint, I got to go with this. And then we started talking about all of the values of saving that extra dollar. And he said, he could put that extra $2 towards his son's college education.
He didn't say that. He didn't.
Right. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Because
Will you, bro? Will you, bro?
He's gonna put it toward the Boudin breakfast tomorrow. But again, that's what we joked and said. That's that's some Cajun rationalization right there. Yeah, I got to get the Boudin links for breakfast because it's for my son, for the kids' college.
I'm doing it so one day my kid can afford the smoothie. Of course, by the time my kid gets that age, the smoothie will cost $35.
$35, man.
The rate everything is going. Don't get me started on the supply chain again, bro. I can go.
Boudin will probably still be $5.
Boudin, Boudin's Boudin. But yeah,
I had to talk about supply chain. I had to buy. Went to Sherwin-Williams to buy a quart of paint for this project that I ended up doing yesterday that we talked about earlier for work. And the girl calls out on the receipt that there was a $5 market fee on it.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, they're charging a market fee on paint?
On paint.
Dude. We're being, man, look.
Oh, no. And that's what she said. I just want to point that out. People think we're trying to, do what I said, man, look, this is from our company. I'll charge whatever.
I walked into Lowe's. So while I was there, you talked about getting on a ladder. So I'm in Thibodeau, and I'm just, when I get there, it's a big house, big yard, a lot of trees, and still from the hurricane, they got stuff hanging and stuff. And I'm just, man, I put in like 5 or 6 hard hours of labor. I mean, it was like, I was probably not there 24 hours, and I'm like, I wake up in the morning and I need a pole saw. I'm gonna clean some stuff up while I'm here. Got the ladders, I need a pole saw. I got none.
A pole saw as in a chainsaw on a pole? Or
no, I want a pole. Okay, you could work at Lowe's, dude. Because here's what happened. So I show up at the Lowe's, and I know everybody's on the staff. I know
that's my dream job, man.
Man, I wish you'd have been there. So I'm walking in there, and I'm like, I've never been in this store. They're sort of laid out the same sometimes, and I'm like, okay, it's probably going to be near a garden or somewhere near. And you hear the announcement. I'm listening to the announcement to come in, and they're basically talking about we working every day to supply the stores, and because of shortages, there may be blah blah blah. And I'm like, man, when you're in stores now and they're making canned announcements telling you,
they're promoting the things that they don't have,
like
promoting that they don't have things.
Welcome to the store. Pump your brakes if you think we're going to have what you're looking for. So I come around the corner. I'm like, I don't see, because I'm thinking too, after the hurricane, I'm betting there was a run on these kind of things. So either they restocked or they're just totally gone. So I come around a corner and I can't, and this young lady standing there. She's stocking some stuff. I mean, nice young lady. And again, my first thing is I appreciate anybody that's at work. Mm-hmm. She's got the mask on, so it makes it a little bit more difficult for me to understand what she's saying. So I'm, yes, ma'am. I'm looking for a pole saw. And she's staring at me like, and I don't think she was high. It was early in the morning, man. And she's looking at me and I'm like, hey, a burger? Yeah, pole.
Yes, a pole saw, please.
Yeah, I said, it's got a blade on it, and it's what it is. It's you cut branches with it, and then in the area where there was a power one, right? A chainsaw on a, and she says, we got that. I'm like, no, that's not. That's a chainsaw. That's a tree saw. Yeah, right. It's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for. It's got a blade on it.
Right. It's probably adjustable pole.
On a pole.
Have a string on it.
And I'm standing there in a Lowe's aisle, like I'm talking to, like we're different languages. And I'm saying, you do this.
It's not the home decorating store.
Right. She's like, well, it would be somewhere around here. But I've never seen them.
That's why I'm here.
I've never seen them. I'm thinking, oh, they must be out. Okay. They must not have. So I kind of turn around. I turn around, dude, not 15 feet behind me, over my right shoulder. They're on the wall. Okay. If she looks over my shoulder, you can see what I'm asking.
Did you go get her to show her where they were?
I tried to. So I went to find it. And then so I'm looking at them. What size do I need? Do I need a 12? Do I need a 14? Do I need a 16? And then some other dude comes by and is like, man, I could use one of these. So me and this guy I never met, or I'm selling pole saws at Lowe's to this guy, and he's asking me whatever, like, you ever use it? Oh man, all the time. I got one of these in my house. And
that's some work, man.
Dude, well, yeah, like, man, I'm right here, bro. I got my arm workout in yesterday. Or 2 days ago. I lose track. No, it was yesterday. So I tried to find that girl. I mean, and not to be mean. I literally, I guess
trying to help her. I've sold one for you. You can go ahead and take the credit for that.
That's right. Yeah.
Go follow find me, and I'll show you.
Go find that guy with the. I think I upsold him from the 14 to the 16. You gotta go.
Thank you.
Go get that. And by the way, this is the pole saw.
Right.
And
it's a compound word. Pole saw, because it's a pole with a saw.
That's right. Hey, God bless America. At least she's at work. I know. Well, we talked about that before. We're idiots. We don't even know what, we don't even know all the pronouns. That's right. I did whatever. Bro and Bab.
I'm on me, we, ours, us.
Bro and Bab. Well, here's what I want to know too. And again, being back in Louisiana, and this happened several times. When people, darling,
Baby.
love,
Mm-hmm.
baby, honey, and that's just so funny. I want to turn around. Hey, I don't identify as baby. Take it as a compliment. Take it as a compliment, man.
Full grown man.
You can call me Bab. I don't care. Well, that's my thing too. I can't. People that looking to be offended, right? You can tell. You can tell if somebody, they're not. They don't mean anything. That's just what they say. I remember. I don't remember I've said this before. Somebody when somebody used to say, people say, you have a blessed day, and some people get like,
oh yeah,
bent out of shape about that, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, do you think, like to that person, that's the nicest thing they could possibly tell you? Like right. that person is literally telling you the nicest thing that they know to say. You got a problem with that?
Right. Being offended if somebody tells you Merry Christmas.
I can't wait. Yeah, well, but is that the spirit of the season? If you intentionally go out to try to tick people off by saying Merry, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I'm not intentionally ticking off anybody.
That's right. I am. If I know you don't, right? Anybody tells me Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas.
There, yeah.
And if and not for anything, it's like, I'm sorry, I'm old. We grew up. It ain't the holiday season. I guess it is. I don't know. I'm gonna close on one. One thing I gotta. I laughed and I did something only for you. I even told my mom, no, I got to do this only to tell Juan. Getting ready to leave on Friday. Friday after I do a few things, and it was around lunchtime, but I wasn't hungry. I was going to split, and my mom says, that's actually had good food to eat, but I'm like, no, I'm good. And she says, we got potted meat and Vienna sausage, and I didn't feel like making a potted meat sandwich. I said, give me a can of Vienna sausage. I'll grab in the pantry. I grab because all the hurricane stock is still there.
Still there, man. Waiting for the
next
one.
Open up a can of Vienna sausage, dude. It's been a while.
Did you eat it straight or did you make a sandwich?
No, I made it straight. I ate it straight. I got like 3 in, and I was like, God, I think I'm done. I think Anybody there's 7 in a can? Anybody want the other 4 of these?
It's the, like I said, we've talked about that, the gelatinous type stuff in the can. That's kind of
stayed away from that. But it's
scoop it off the top.
Don't get me wrong, man. I'm like, if
hands in the can, or a fork or toothpick.
Hand, bro. Hand in the can. That's how you get some of that.
You pull the middle one out first.
You gotta pull the middle one out first. You learn that. You don't pull the middle one out, you're gonna shred the other one. Come on, dude. This is Vienna sausage eating 101. You always take the middle one out, and the middle one knows that when they put them in, when they hit the packing plant, that one that gets it, that one in the middle is like, oh man.
Some of the ones on the edge might survive.
You're like, I might be not for the most part. Yeah, but
last in, first out. It's like an accounting method.
I did that years ago. I was traveling somewhere and had to tank up my car. I had a rental car, I had to tank it up, and I pull into this gas station. I don't know why it just dawned on me. I go to pay because they couldn't pay at the pump, and they got the hot dog thing turning, right? And they had one left, right? And I don't know how long this thing had been on there, and the hot dog turning. And I'm like,
chill, just think about it.
Right. I looked at it and I thought, okay, you can look at this as 2 ways. This poor hot dog is either the loser, like, you didn't get picked,
or the loser of the hot dog lot,
or the lone survivor, the guy that made it, right? The guy that, that's how life is, man. You can look at yourself as the one that didn't get picked, or the lone surviving weenie.
As the consumer, I'd have gone for the lone survivor, and I wouldn't want it to end his streak.
That's right. I'm gonna set you loose, hot dog. I'm gonna buy you and go. Like, well, something's gonna eat you. There you go. I'm that way with crawfish. Any crawfish, when you go to a crawfish bar that actually get out the pot, I got friends that like, oh, I don't want to throw them back. No, not me, bro. Listen, if that crawfish got plucked out of its natural habitat, stuck in a sack, probably stayed a day or 2 in that sack, rode on a truck, getting water sprayed on every now and then, just went through the cleaning stuff, and it goes to get in the water, and that thing somehow misses. No, bro, you go free. You are, I mean, that's just cruel to say. Come on now.
All that effort for nothing.
Let that guy go. That don't get me wrong.
Die before he gets out of the yard,
but that's all right. It's a natural death. It's a slow, painful, as opposed to the 0.5 seconds it would take.
Yeah.
Oh, well, on that pleasant note, I think it's about that time of the week.
It is.
Push the button. See if any of this stuff stuck to tape, or again, whatever this stuff is. Great. It's fun doing this. If you want to reach us anytime, and not on social media where everybody can see, it's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. We read them, and sometimes we respond, sometimes we don't. But there you go. You can reach us there. Where else can they find?
We are all over the social media realm of the world.
Everywhere.
We're on YouTube, on Facebook. I told somebody the other day, just somebody I was meeting, and I don't know, we were getting to, just chatting about different things. And I said, yeah, I do a little podcast. And she kind of loaded up, said, are you on Spotify? I said, Spotify. Oh, said, I'm on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Podbay, and Listen Notes, and anywhere else.
Yes, right.
Podcast exists
everywhere. Not even kidding, bro. Find it.
Just spot, like you gonna throw down on me and challenge my, the distribution of my podcast.
Are you kidding me? They had to change the name of Facebook just to fit us in, bro.
Right.
We may drop Facebook when it goes to Meta, though, man. That's just some weird stuff.
I did see something on Facebook the other day, and it had the Meta thing on it.
That's some weird. We'll talk about that another time. That's just some weird. That's some weird stuff there. Yeah, let's but anyway, so maybe or may not we may be met. Who knows? We'll see how that goes. All right. All that said, everybody out there, whatever part of the world you're in, we wish you a fantastic week. Have as good a week as you can.
As good of a week, I guess.
Have the most bestest week you could possibly have this week.
I hope things go well, bro.
I hope things go well for you too, and everybody out there for y'all.
It's the one pretty week of the year coming up, so enjoy it.
Enjoy that week. I got to work. So what time you want to do this again?
7.
Pick a week.
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, next week.
Sounds good. Monday,
I'll
7
be
o'clock
there.
next week. All right. Until then, everybody, y'all have a good one. Love you, buddy.
Back at you, man.
Looking around. Downtown Thibodeau's got some stuff going on, man. Some people spending
I
some
like
money.
downtown. They've got, I think Thibodeauville was going on this weekend.
That's what it was. Okay, but
Lily and Axe, bruh.
No way.
Way.
Oh, dude. Is that no, I'm thinking of Molly Hatchet. No, sorry.
No, Lily and Axe never made it that big. But
yeah, Molly Hatchet had flirting with disaster.